welcome to your Vedic Lunar Scope for today, the 4th of November, 2015. The moon today is in the very final portion of the sign of Leo, and over the course of the day, it will transit its way through Magha nakshatra. So, what do you know? What do you feel that you know? Beyond the shadow of a doubt, what do you feel you are certain of? Do you know that you're going to breathe the next breath? Do you know what's going to happen tomorrow? Do you know you're going to wake up? Do you even know if the sun is going to rise, right? Well, your answer to some of those questions might be yes. But is that something that you really know, right? Or is it something that you think? Between thinking and knowing, really, there's a very big gap, very wide. And if you think about it, right, if you think about it, you'll actually find that you know much less than you think that you know. And is that such a horrible thing, or is that actually a very good thing, right? I think in your particular instance, in my particular instance, in everybody's particular instance, well, pretty much every day, but especially today, it's better that you don't know, right? Because in that moment that you don't know, even though you may feel empty, even though you may not feel like you can thump your chest and go swinging through the trees like Tarzan or something like that, well, you still stand a chance to learn, right? And from that moment of learning, you also stand a chance to grow. And from that moment of growth, well, you actually stand a chance to prosper. But in order to get to that space, you have to let go today of what you think that you know until you don't think that you know. And that moment that you don't think that you know, then that's the moment that you stand to really learn. And then eventually know that what you know is very little. And that can actually be a very wonderful thing. Because in that moment that you don't know, that's the moment that you become blessed. And that's the moment that you become guided. Why? Because you're willing to listen. Magha is an artha-driven nakshatra. It is wanting to achieve a specific goal. And when Magha is functioning in more of its difficult polarity or challenging polarity like it is today, well, it gets very prideful about achieving those specific goals, and it listens to very little wisdom, right? Magha Nakshatra is connected with the Pitris, which are the ancestral deities. And the Pitris are here to guide humanity, but they do it in a very subtle manner. Why? Because they want us on one level to have a strong sense of individuality. But they don't want us to get so egotistical that we don't listen. Usually at those moments when we get so egotistical that we don't listen, then they kind of have to jump into the equation and shout. And that's usually the moments that we kind of come up against a brick wall. So I'm trying to save you from coming up against that brick wall today and saying that you need to listen, you need to pay attention, you need to be willing to learn, right? And you need to be willing to cooperate. The lunar Tithi today is Krishna Navami. It's the 9th day of the dark half of the moon. And because of feeling like you have to act rather strongly and come from a space of ferocity and strength in order to achieve a specific goal, well, you're likely to get sucked into that particular headspace to the extent that you actually do more problems, or create more problems, I should say, in your life than you do actually help your situation. The solar lunar yoga today is Brahma. That's about evolving, but there's a sense of wishing to find fulfillment associated with this, rather than taking a look at your situation from a more detached perspective today, and taking things apart and putting them back together again in a different way. But in order for you to see how to put things back together, well, you have to pay attention. In order to pay attention, you have to be willing to pay attention. And in order to be willing to pay attention, you have to be willing to listen. And in order to be able to listen, well, you have to have a little bit of humility. So have a little bit of humility today. It'll really help you in a very big way. If you could use a little bit of assistance with whatever situation you might be dealing with in your personal life, I do offer several different tiers of astrological service, all of which are available through the Astrological Services page of my website. If you see the little eye in the upper right-hand corner of the video, if you click on that, 2 cards drop down. The first of which will have a picture of Ganesha on it. That will take you to my Astrological Services page. If you're wondering what the second one is, well, that will take you to a page that's about my full-length nakshatra course that I have filmed with fellow astrologer Ryan Korzak, where we teach you about the nakshatras in general and also how to interpret the nakshatras in a chart interpretation. If you'd like more information on that video course, you can find that at the link that is beneath the one with the picture of Ganesha. That's going to do it for your Vedic Lunar Scope for today, the 4th of November, 2015. Until next time, please take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.